You ever hear a house at night when everyone else is asleep? The refrigerator humming, the clock ticking too loud, your own breathing sounding like it belongs to someone else. That's when I realized something was wrong, not with my life, with me. My name is Dorothy. I'm 72 years old, and I spent most of my life being useful, not alive. I was a school teacher for 38 years. I graded papers at the kitchen table long after everyone went to bed. I packed lunches before the sun came up. I answered calls when people needed help. I was the reliable one, the steady one, the one who showed up, and I believed that was enough. Somewhere between 30 and 50, I stopped being a person with a life and became a person who managed everyone else's. It didn't happen all at once. It happened one small sacrifice at a time. I used to write when I was younger. Just stories, nothing serious. I had notebooks stacked in a box under my bed. I told myself, one day I would do something with them. I carried that box from house to house for 40 years. I never opened it. There was always something more important first. Dinner to cook, bills to pay, someone to comfort, something to fix. I need to tell you where that comes from. My mother was a woman who gave everything, and she never let you forget it. She gave up her job. She gave up her friends. She gave up parts of herself so quietly that one day there wasn't much left. And when she looked at us, there was something in her eyes, a debt. I swore I would never live like that. I would give freely, no score, no guilt. And I did give freely. But here's what I didn't understand. There's a difference between giving from love and giving from fear. Giving because you care, and giving because you're afraid that if you stop being needed, no one will stay. From the outside, those two things look identical. Inside, they feel completely different. I wasn't being selfless. I was terrified of being unnecessary. A few years ago, my daughter said something to me that I still think about every day. We were sitting at the kitchen table. There were crumbs between us. The dishwasher was running. It was an ordinary Tuesday. She looked at me and said, "Mom, I don't actually know what makes you happy." I laughed, that polite little laugh you use when you want something to move on. I said, "Oh, honey, I'm happy. I love being with you." She didn't smile. She said, "No, not us, you. What do you want when no one needs anything from you?" I remember the sound of the dishwasher stopping, and then just silence. 72 years old, and I couldn't answer her, not one thing. I had built a life where I was never not needed, and I had done that on purpose, because if no one needs you, you have to face yourself. and I had no idea who that was anymore. My husband passed away 3 years ago. While going through his papers, I found a letter folded neatly inside a folder labeled Insurance. He always folded things carefully, even grocery lists, as if love belonged in a file. The letter said, "Dorothy, you move through life like someone trying to repay a debt no one remembers lending you. I wish you would stop. You were enough the day I met you. You were enough the day I married me. You were enough on the days you failed. You were enough on the days you did nothing. You didn't have to earn any of it." I read it 3 times because it's easier to believe you're exhausted than to believe you're allowed to rest. I had spent decades performing goodness and calling it love. I believed love was something you worked for, that rest was something you deserved after everyone else was satisfied. I never once questioned that belief. Here's what I know now. You are not your usefulness. You are not the sacrifices you make. You are not the problems you solve. Those things might be generous, but they are not you. The people I know who are truly at peace all made the same quiet decision. They stopped waiting for permission to rest, permission to want things, permission to exist without earning it. They simply decided it was their turn. Last spring, I opened one of those old notebooks. The paper smelled like dust. My handwriting looked hopeful. I almost closed it again. Starting at 72 feels foolish, but I wrote 1 page, then another. Not because anyone needed it, not because it would become anything, but because, for the first time in my life, I wasn't waiting to be needed. I was choosing to be alive. If you're waiting for things to calm down before you start living, they won't. Life doesn't send invitations. It doesn't knock. It doesn't ask if you're ready. You decide it's your turn. Quietly, without permission, without applause. I still have that letter framed on my desk. 4 words. You were already enough. Some nights I read it out loud, like it was written to someone else. I'm still learning to believe it, but I am learning, and that's more than I could say 10 years ago.